Now, like I said earlier, if you can't enforce your barrier, if you have a property or a fence or some kind of signing with the city that that legally says you cannot cross this point from this point on, if you can't enforce that, meaning you can't have protection, you can't have guns, you can't have cameras, you don't have legal documents, you don't have the police, and you don't have the law behind you, or real simple, if you're just a normal person, you don't have enough money. That could just be the simple thing. You don't have enough money to back up, you know, keeping your space or distance from people. Then maybe you should think twice about, you know, getting into somebody that's getting into your space. Because remember, you can get killed, even for the smallest things. Don't ever underestimate how little people are willing to kill for. Or do other stuff to you, vandalize or whatever. People are petty. That's a guarantee. That's very guaranteed. People are very petty. Very few people who are actually intelligent emotionally and mentally and physically have a clear mind and understand that don't be petty. Now that I, basically warned y'all about enforcing barriers, rules on people that are trespassing or trying to hurt you, whatever, I have to tell you, barriers, laws, rules, protection, all that is actually a really good thing to have. Of course, that means that you got to work a lot more and have money. But hey, you're going to be working anyways. So it's better to have protection than not. Now, I do want to say this. What I've learned in my experience, and let me just tell you straight out, ever since I was 16, I've had a responsibility as an adult. I didn't have any parents, long story short. So I basically was an adult by 16. Meaning paying for a home, managing the property, working basically full time. Actually, yeah, full time. Sometimes even more, overtime, while going to school and handling my responsibilities in business and doing other things. So I can tell you in my experience, I'm going to guarantee you another thing. At the age I am, or I was 16, I can guarantee you there was no adult that I have met that is an adult. Let me repeat myself one more time, because I probably really don't understand. There's not one adult that I have met that's actually acts, responds like a real adult, like an adult's supposed to respond, clearly, logically, Now, anytime there's an incident, and there's always an incident. If you ever lived even 2 years of your life, if you're a little baby and you just barely got born 2 years ago, there's always something happening. Whether it's good or bad, there's always something, no matter how small, no matter how big. And let me just tell you the truth, guys. A lot of adults or children, they're still kids. They still cry. They don't want to work. And when somebody corrects them, and the person is actually right, I mean, they have the cameras, they have it on camera. I mean, they even have it in writing, in documentation, and they actually see it with their own eyes, and they even confront the person. So you have all the evidence right there. They lash out. They'll call you a liar. They'll call you racist or whatever, even though you're the same color as the person. And you don't cuss or anything. They always cuss. They don't say anything. They just get angry. So what I've learned is this. And this is perfect for the video. I have boundaries and borders and protection because I want to tell you the truth. In my experience, 95 to 97% of this world do not have boundaries. What do I mean by that? I'll tell you straight out. They will literally, if you own a property, if you own a house, they will literally get on your grass. If they have a dog, they'll poop on your yard. It doesn't matter if they're a neighbor or not. That's what I'm talking about. They don't have any boundaries, no rules, no simple common sense. I want to say, you don't go in somebody's yard and poop on there with your dog, which you don't even know. Another example is make it real simple. People have kids. Doesn't matter if you're in a good neighborhood or a bad neighborhood. It don't matter. Or in between, it always happens. Same thing. Kids, of course, kids are kids, man. That's understandable. But when your kids are crazy and the parents don't control them, they'll play bicycles. They'll play toys. They'll play soccer, and they'll bust a window. They'll hit your property. They'll mess up your grass. They'll crash into your mailbox. I mean, it's endless, guys. They'll hit your car. And I guarantee you, they will not man up. The parents or the children, they won't say it was their fault. This is what I mean by no boundaries, no respect, no common sense, no dignity. I've seen it with my own two eyes since I was 16, and I had to become an adult. I'm giving you my experience. Next up, remember I talked about people just come on your yard, no matter how nice it is. Sometimes they're just random people walking by. They're hanging out with their girlfriend or something, going for a walk, and like I said, no boundaries. They'll literally, if they're stopping to rest, they're not paying attention or something. I think everybody pays attention, but I guess not. And they'll lean on your car. They'll use it as a rest stop. And literally, if you have a nice car, you don't want nobody doing that to your car, especially some stranger you don't know, whether they're white, black, or Latino, or whatever. I don't care. You don't do that to somebody's property. Second, maybe they're gross. There's some gross people. Whether you live in a nice place or in a bad place. They'll throw trash on your yard, on your street, in your driveway, when they're just passing by on the sidewalk, which is near your home. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just dumb. It really is. Another thing, they'll literally, you got those people who just watch. I call them watchers. All they do is just stake out. They want to know, they're nosy. They want to know your life. They want to know, I want to call them racist too. They're usually like, because remember, I just told you I'm young. So some people are kind of skeptical about, how is a young guy paying for a house and, new car and everything's paid off and, and they're just watching and scheming and being a loser, Again, no boundaries unless you enforce it and you make boundaries. You put fences. You you make sure the police know. You make sure you have video footage. You make sure you got it in writing that this guy keeps on watching you or whatever. You gotta go the extra mile if you want protection. You gotta have a gun. You gotta be trained. You gotta go the extra mile. Next thing, sometimes people are just dumb. They think they can take advantage. Even though they have their own parking lot, they want to park in your space. Or maybe they want to park, in your driveway or by your driveway where you can't get out. It goes on and on, guys. But the main point of this video is I want to educate y'all. I want to help y'all because of the experiences I've been through and what I've learned. Going on 10 plus years of experience. And I've handled it very well for a young man that I am. Because I guarantee you, a lot of people don't handle things correctly. And for me, from 16 all the way to now, to handle things professionally, cleanly, with evidence, like I told you, with protection, insurance, video footage, police reports in writing with judges and stuff like that. And I mean, to be so pristine and evidence, and even flash drives. I keep it on my computer. I mean, whatever, man. Keep it on your phone, whatever works for you. You know, put it in the cloud. I don't care. You know, to be so pristine and good at keeping an account and keeping up with the facts. You have to be really good. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm amazing because I know people that are better than me at keeping account, and professionally they're good at what they do, whether it's lethal or non-lethal, or legal or not. Well, actually, I don't know any not legal people, but legal people, yes. But I just want to say, boundaries is the most important thing that I have learned. And I want to be straight honest with y'all before I end this. There will be a time in everyone's life, I promise you, where you really can't do anything. You can't enforce boundaries, whether you're in a bad position or something like that, or something happens. Life always happens. Always. Don't ever take your life for granted. That's why I say make good decisions. All the time. Basically, I want you to live and have a good life and have a clean life. But when that time comes, there's one thing that you can always do, or at least somewhat do. You could work and save money, and that will give you more options. They'll give you an option to build a fence if you need one. They'll give you an option to go to a lawyer or make legal documents to tell that person don't ever come around my property again, or else you will be arrested or you'll be killed legally. I mean, whatever floats your boat. I don't like killing. I don't agree with that. If you know me by now. But it is a viable option, not for me, but for others legally. So yeah, guys, just learn. And like I said, I'm Bastians Goofy. Hopefully I helped you as much as possible. If you have any questions, let me know. And thank you. Bye.